Hello, hello. Let's get music going real quick. There we go. Everything should be going now. Hi. I don't know if anybody's quite shown up yet, so we'll give it just a minute, but hope everybody's doing well tonight. I'm realizing now there's one quick thing that I forgot to do. Alright, should be good. Have everything all set. Again, today we're hoping to get through Brawly. I don't know if that'll happen or how much progress we'll make, but we're going to find out. It would be awesome if we could get through Brawly, but I know that's in particular a hard fight, so we're just going to see where we end up. Other than that, I'm sure people will start filtering in at some point. Yeah, but I'm sure it'll be great. Alright, let's get right into it. First things first with starting, and along with starting, we can start the timer. There we go. Professional streamer remembers to press buttons. How rare. Alright. Last time we just beaten the bosses, the Team Aqua Grunt bosses fights. So we've got an increased level cap to work with. We should, I think, have a pretty easy time. We've got a couple of encounters to get. I think the first one we're going to get right away. While I'm thinking about it, let's go grab some Pokeballs. And then get right into... I can get Great Balls now, so we should probably do that. Hi, Sia. How are you doing? There we go. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Definitely a little bit busy, so I'm streaming a little later, but honestly, not by much. And other than that, it's going good. I think I'm hoping to get through Brawly today. I think that'll be great. And then, yeah, I think I'd love to get through Brawly tonight, which I think makes for a really easy and good stopping point for a minute, because I think this weekend I want to try and stream Undertale Delta or Deltarune. I'm not sure exactly what my plan is for that, but I want to do a full, like, narrative analysis playthrough of Undertale into Deltarune. Because I haven't done that in a minute. I haven't replayed Undertale in forever. There we go. I'm glad that sounds exciting to you. I know I haven't played Undertale in forever, mostly because that's kind of the point of the game. But I think I can make an exception for playing it on stream for the first and probably only time. And also, playing through Deltarune, I need to play through the Deltarune games again, just because now I know what's happening. I can actually analyze what is actually happening in preparation for Chapter 5. I know that'll be coming out eventually. It sounds like closer to this time next year, but that's the plan, hopefully. We'll see where that goes, but for today, we get to do lots of Pokemon and lots of Brawly. I think right away, while I was thinking about it, we've got some encounters to get. I know that there's one immediately. I just want to make sure that we're in the right spot. Yeah, there's no... because this is 109, and then this is Slateport. Alright, so this area up here is fishing area. Oop, nope. Not right now. So yeah, we've got an immediate encounter we can get in Slateport City. And then we're going to try and plan for the fight on Route 110 in order to get another Horsey. So we can just run from this because we've already got one, because Dupe's Claws. Alrighty. I don't know, I'm excited. I will say one other random thing. I know I talked about it a little bit last time, but for the affiliate thing, I did double check all of the things, and now the only requirement that I am missing is averaging 3 viewers across 4 streams, and I've only done 3 streams recently. So as long as I average 3 viewers today, I will be an affiliate theoretically the next time I stream. Oh my gosh, all the horsies in this harbor. So that's cool. I don't think it really changes much, but you know, it's cool to say that it happened. Bubble, definitely going to need to switch off of Caracosta. Caracosta shouldn't be out front against water types. We've got better. Who's better? Mary. Mary should be out front. Mary takes damage super well. Honestly, we should just level up Mary, I'm sure. There isn't really a water poison type isn't really a useful... Water Pulse, nice. It should just be better than Water Gun, yeah. Yeah. There we go. Hopefully Mary can actually do damage now. I know that Mary, although isn't very strong offensively, defensively Mary's been great. Like, always not taking much damage. Alright, hopefully we can get something good here. Something good for an encounter. Got a Half-Lurk because I'm working on a group assignment, but we'll be listening. Sounds good. Ooh, Quillfish, please be Intimidate. Please intimidate me. Yes! Okay. That's great. Quillfish, I don't think is worth it if it's not. I think Intimidate's so good. Alright, well, we've got that now. We're just going to start throwing Pokeballs at it. Nice. Honestly, that's great. Bubble, perfect. That's not going to do hardly any damage. Perfect, perfect. Alright, we'll Venom Drench, but it failed. Yeah, it shouldn't do anything. Let's just try... Better on the ocean floor. We don't need that. Let's just try throwing a Great Ball. I think that'll probably auto-catch it. There we go. Oh, come on. Pin Missile. Oh, it's just going to take forever. Here. Speed it up. I don't want to sit here for 7 million years watching the animation. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait. Perfect. It looks like we just keep throwing Great Balls. Perfect. Just get in the ball. Ah. Everything's fine. Alright, there we go, there we go. And then once we've got that through, just does not want to be caught. Come on, Quillfish. Just wasting money here. You're going to get in the ball eventually. Oh, come on. Is this all necessary? Okay, Quillfish is not this difficult of a Pokemon to capture. This is ridiculous. Alright, we've only got 2 Great Balls left. Here, maybe you want to be in a Premier Ball. Nope. How about now? Holy guacamole. Alright. Well, just Pokeballs till it catches. Alright, if it's... okay. Let's just assume that this Quillfish at level 10 has no IVs. How well does level 20... how much damage does level 21 Skrelp do? Not much. Oh. think we just Poison Tail. Faint Attack might do too much. But Poison Tail shouldn't. Alright. Let's try this again. We just have to be knowledgeable that a crit could do a bunch of extra damage out of nowhere because we are intimidated right now. Alright. Now do you want to get in the Pokeball? No. We're going to have to switch Mary out here after a second. Alright, well let's get one more Poison Tail hit in, because even max roll crit shouldn't, even after Intimidate. Yep. Glad I looked at that roll. Okay. Well, who do we bring out here? Probably Caracosta. Should do just fine for a minute. Used Bubble, that's fine. We can take a little bit of damage. Yeah. Hi, Mixie. Hope you're doing well. There we go. I hope you were able to... I remember I saw you earlier. Hopefully you managed to beat the entire cast of Sonic. There we go. We're trying to catch this Quillfish. It's refusing to be caught. Apparently you just needed to arrive. There we go. I will take it. New Pokemon. Alright, now we have to come up with a name for this thing. It's probably going to be very useful. This Quillfish has Intimidate. So it's a very scary Quillfish. Oh, what do we want to name you? Just as a reminder for anybody new in chat, if you ever want to be named after a Pokemon, just have to speak up and let me know. Otherwise, we have to come up with a name for this. What's a good name for a Quillfish? Right, it's just a pufferfish, it's angry. Oh, what's the name of that actor in that terrible movie? What was it called? The one with the Will Smith fish. Oh, what was that movie called? Is it Shark Tale? Oh my gosh, it is. Okay. What was the name of the person? Yeah. Didn't Martin Scorsese play a pufferfish? I swear, I think I'm not making this up. Oh my, yes he did. I double checked my information. I'm not lying to you. Alright, so unless anybody has a better name, we're naming this thing Scorsese. Because that's hilarious. Alright. I make myself laugh, and that's what's important. Got Scorsese, the Quillfish. Perfect. Okay, let's heal, because we randomly took way more damage than we should have there. And then let's start planning out our next fight. Alright. And right away, in these early fights, I don't think it's worth it to keep the Pokemon like really low level. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I should have, let me check something real quick, because I want to just level up all the Pokemon that I can. Is there any Pokemon that I'm going to leave at a really low level? I'm going to probably get Galadriel up. I don't know if I'm going to use... Honestly, I'm probably not going to use the Quillfish for right now. So let's deposit the Quillfish and then just start leveling everybody up that I think's going to be used. Actually, we'll check... Here. let's just take a second, save, and then start planning the fight, and we'll just manually put in all the levels, because everything else is already in the calculator. Alright, save real quick, and then get the calculator ready. The next fight shouldn't actually be too difficult. Alright. Alright, run the export. There we go. Control-C, Control-V. Perfect. Now we're just going to bring the calculator up, and we are going to be facing off. It's a Sunflora? Yeah, Camper Galvy. This is the fight. Auto refresh. Alright. So right away, this Barrel is scary, but it isn't doing much damage to Tortuga. I hate rank on Marvel Rivals. I've never been good at like the ranked hero shooter type games. That has never been my strong suit. I'll play other like competitive shooters, but like the hero shooters, I can't. Which is why I stopped LoL. That's fair. It's fine. I think they're good games, especially like casually, but no, I just think that those type of games, like unless it was going well, now I hate it. Yeah. I get that. People are really good at those games. They just get so good so quickly, and it feels like how am I even supposed to deal? All right. What do we have? Okay, let's bring up Notepad. How are we gonna get rid of this Barrel? If we've got Metatite at 21. With, what did you get? Metatite gets Force Palm. So you're immediately back on. You've just heard it and it's calling out to you. Alright. Force Palm might. Do we outspeed? We're exactly tied. Oh, the Metatite just... I'm still playing. There we go. It's alright. It is an interesting game. What do we got? How well does Grottle do? 21. Razor Leaf also might kill. Still playing. I like the thing. I main him now. I've not been like keeping up with any of the updates. I think I played like right when it came out, and then I was like, okay, well that was fun. Goodbye. Alright, we've got Shell Armor on our Grottle, but it's not going to get any new Grass-type moves, so that this Barrel, we're not going to be able to kill it. Should we just Absorb? No, because Absorb has a pretty good chance of not two-shotting. Haru takes a bunch of damage. How do we deal with their Ponyta? Flame Wheel, Play Rough, Double Kick. Skrelp pretty easily tanks all of those moves. So Skrelp is good against the Ponyta. The Electric, if I remember, yeah, the Electric can't really do anything. It's got Super Fang, so we've got to be careful of that, but otherwise, it's not really doing much to Grottle, and Grottle can Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf? Okay. What about you? Paris isn't really doing any better. What moves does Paris gonna get? Paris is barely not going to get its level up, but it is going to get Spore. So Paris has Spore coming up, which we're gonna get rid of Stun Spore for actual Spore, cause obviously. Or do we get rid of Poison Powder? Poison just isn't very good. Toxic would be way better. Yeah. All right. So with the Electric, we are gonna have Spore, so we can put it to sleep. We're gonna be slow, but that's fine. What about Sunflora? How does Sunflora do? Sunflora gets pretty destroyed by Skrelp. Although Energy Ball does a lot of damage, so maybe not. Let's see, how well does Haru do? Haru always one-shots and outspeeds the Sunflora. How about this Dustox? Bug Poison? Once again, Tortuga can do pretty well. Yeah, Tortuga destroys the Dustox. Okay. So Tortuga kills the Dustox. Skrelp deals with the electric. Or, no, Skrelp deals... What did Skrelp deal with? Skrelp dealt with Ponyta. So Skrelp into the Ponyta. The electric is dealt with by Grotle. Is that true? At 21? Yeah. Razor Leaf, even Super Fang isn't going to... We just don't take any damage otherwise. And it's probably going to try and Toxic, so that's fine. So we just Razor Leaf. Okay, so Grotle kills the electric. The Sunflora, what was our plan? Sunflora gets destroyed by Ponyta. And then Ponyta also can probably deal with the Dustox. It really should be able to. Alright. What is that? Grotle, Ponyta, Tortuga. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 Pokemon to deal with all 5 of theirs. So we're gonna have redundancy in what? What else do we want to bring? We want to bring things that are good against the grass types, because this Sunflora can be tricky. But it turns out that's none of our Pokemon, so... Oof. Yeah. That Sunflora is a problem, so we just have to use Ponyta there. What about against the Dustox? That's Pokemon we're already bringing. Actually, how well does... Nope. We... Pin Missile... At level 21... At level 21, Quillfish is pretty good, and also it's got... Yeah, we'll bring the Quillfish along. Just because Intimidate's very good. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who else do we want to bring? Bunnelby, are you helpful here? Not really. Alright, I think we just bring the Quillfish to be as a secondary fight against the Ponyta. Honestly, Quillfish might even be better into the Ponyta. Alright, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll bring... just in case, we will bring Mixie. Should be an easy fight, honestly. Our first one, what is our plan to deal with the Barbarrel? Was it just the Skrelp? No. Did I just say Tortuga could deal with it? I think I said Grotle. No, something else one-shots it. Did I make that up? I really don't think I did. Well, whatever. Grotle, out front. No, I think it is just Tortuga out front. Yeah, because Tortuga doesn't do anything else. No, Tortuga is against the Dustox. That's right. So yeah, we've got Grottle out front into the Beaver, and that's fine. And then we also have Grottle against the Electric, so we'll bring Paris as a secondary thing against the Electric. Cool. Alright, that's the plan. Let's deposit the Pokemon we need and get rid of the ones we don't. That wasn't a coherent sentence, but I'm gonna go with it. Okay. So who don't we want on the team? We want you to be gone, and otherwise the team is exactly what we want. We just need to grab Paris. And then this team is perfect. Now we're just going to level everybody up, save and put them in the calculator, and then we'll go and fight. Wants to learn Ancient Power? Yes, you should learn that. Might as well. Is Ancient Power better than Smackdown on you? Let's check real quick. So if you're at 21, and we are trying to kill this Dustox, is Ancient Power. Ancient Power is pretty much almost exactly the same, because it's a special attack move, which is a little worse, but it's 10 points better. So I think it pretty much comes out to exactly the same. Yeah, Smackdown. No, Smackdown's definitely better. Alright. What do we want Ancient Power instead of? Bite? Bite's pretty bad. We don't really have a good... Honestly, say with 60 base power... The chance for an Omni boost is really good. But Tortuga is always going to be a physical attacker. I think that Ancient Power kind of sucks. On Tortuga especially, because we never want to have to rely on an Ancient Power boost. So I think that we are going to give up Ancient Power. Because Aqua Jet's really good, Smackdown's better than Ancient Power, Bite does coverage, and Whirlpools are actual... Actually, Whirlpool sucks. I know that we don't have a good water move on Tortuga, but we've got so many other water types. Whirlpool sucks. We'll just have Ancient Power until we get an actual good water type move. There we go. We're probably immediately going to get a water type physical move and then get rid of Ancient Power, but still. Move Brian. Yep, never mind. Immediately. Yeah, we're just gonna... Ancient Power just isn't good enough. Old Learned Brine. Perfect. Now we've got Haru. There we go. Wants to learn Bounce? Sure, we'll have some coverage. I think that Growl just isn't worth it. We've got Intimidate users. The coverage on Bounce is way better. And I'd rather choose to be able to trap an opponent in rather than Growl, or at least do damage over time. Gaia, you're gonna get... What are you gonna get? You're gonna get Roar. I don't know what I want to get rid of for Roar. Roar can be really good. It's not on a fast mon, right? It's slow Roar. Roar might even have negative priority now that I think about it. Razor Leaf and Absorb we want to keep. Sand Tomb is our only sand move. I don't know if Roar is useful. Is it better than... No, it's not better than Absorb. We're going to get Mega Drain, so are we just going to put off? And there are times that Absorb does get us out of ranges of things. May cause flinching. Honestly, I think that Roar is too situational and it's on too slow of a mon. Our Grottle isn't fast. and it never will be. Is Roar negative priority? Yeah, Roar has tons of negative priority. So it doesn't matter that it's on a slow Pokemon, which I guess could make a difference. Do we still want to keep it, though? Makes the foe flee to end the battle, or it switches out and is replaced with another Pokemon in the trainer's team. Could be good. I think that I like all of our moves right now over Roar. I know that Roar has cool niche cases, but I don't think they'll come up anytime soon. So I'd rather just take what we've got. Alright. Wants to learn Venoshock. You should. Scorsese, you should learn Venoshock. Alright, 65. Better, more than Poison Sting? Yeah. Attack, special attack, and speed of a poison foe. Venom Drench is really cool, but I don't know if it's worth it. Okay, but this is definitely... Poison Sting sucks. Venoshock is way better. Probably want to keep Pin Missile just for Bug-type coverage, but I don't like how much variable damage it can do. Wants to learn Poison Fang. Ooh, that's really good. Poison Fang and Venoshock. That's really good. Do we want Pin Missile? Which is 25... 50... Averages to like a 60 base power. Honestly, Pin Missile's pretty good. Venom Drench, while really good, we don't have a good way to poison the foe. Lowers the attack, special attack, and speed. That's just such a good combo, but I don't think we have a good way to poison our opponent. Unless we get rid of Pin Missile. You know what? Bug-type is rarely useful and isn't going to be useful for a minute here. And there are better Bug-type moves, and we've got good Bug-types. Let's just put Poison Fang on, and we'll keep Venom Drench. Because Venom Drench, that's just such a good thing. Intimidate plus Venom Drench on, like, a physical attacker. Like, that Pokemon is basically useless. Wants to learn Bubble Beam. Yeah, probably you should learn Bubble Beam over Bubble, yeah. Alright, Scorsese's gonna be very good in this upcoming fight. Perfect, perfect. Wants to learn the move Revenge. Ooh. Do we want Revenge? That gains power if injured by the foe. Revenge is very good. Revenge is very good. How fast is his Scorsese? Scorsese has no speed stat. I think it doesn't really matter, though. Revenge is always negative priority. Do we want Revenge over our Poison package? Probably not. We don't really have good defense IVs either. Honestly, this thing is specially defensive, but it's kind of really bad otherwise. It's got no attack, high special attack, but it's supposed to be a physical attacker, so its stats are wrong. It's got plus special attack, minus special defense. This thing kind of sucks. I'm going to say no to Revenge. I like our Venom Drench, Poison Fang, Venoshock package more than I like Revenge. Yeah. Paris. Alright, and then Paris learns Spore, which I think... now that we've got a reason to poison things, I think we get rid of Stun Spore. Because although Paralysis is good, poisoning now does a lot for us. So I think we just get rid of Stun Spore, get regular Spore, and that's better. Spore is really good. Alright. Perfect. Let's put the correct Pokemon out front. Should be Gaia. Save real quick, and let's go do this first fight. Alrighty. Let's see. Save the game, perfect. Export real quick. Alright. Got our very first one. Grottle can probably kill, and even if it doesn't, we don't die otherwise. Our Quillfish is now doing lots of damage. Let's see. Haru, you're always killing. Yeah, Quillfish always, or can kill, and does intimidate. So Quillfish is probably really good into you. What was our plan for electric again? I think either Ponyta or Grottle combo there, depends on what we need. Along with Paris. I think Paris is probably a better counter for electric. Alright, that's our plan. Let's go do this. Actual battle time now. I do love run and bun, but it can be a little slow. Alright, it's that person right there. And I think we get a rare candy right there as well. Okay, just one last check. Everybody, we've got everybody in the party. Let's go. Alright. Camper Galvy, let's do this. A barrel, perfect. See if you can die to a Razor Leaf. Super Fang, that's what we expect, because it does 50% damage. There we go. Just crit. Or high roll. That works too. Alright, got good luck right away. Next that comes out should be, I think, the Sunflora? Yeah. Alright, this Sunflora wants nothing more than to Sludge Bomb our Grottle. It should see a kill with that, so we switch to Haru, take the Sludge Bomb, and then we outspeed and kill. Even if the Sludge Bomb poisons us, we're fine. Perfect. Haru takes a Sludge Bomb, and well, it definitely does some damage. Okay, and we don't even die to it. Flame Wheel always kills. Exactly. That's the Sunflora down. You see, this fight is so much harder if we do it before the rest of Slateport. Although it could have made their fight easier, and we might have ended up with an extra Pokemon. Now we've got Ponyta coming out. We could use Bounce, and we are faster. But I don't think that that's any good, because I think we just bring Quillfish out here, and Quillfish destroys this thing. Especially after Intimidate. Yep, it's not doing hardly any damage. Poison types, even on a crit, sweet. So we should just be able to Bubble Beam, and Bubble Beam has a very small chance to one-shot here. Play Rough, yep, not going to do much damage. Scorsese is basically a perfect counter to this thing. Ah, words are hard. Ooh, just barely. It's going to get the Citrus Berry, but that's fine. Because we Bubble Beam again. And even after that, yep, it just can't do damage to us. I think the Electric should come out now, which should get taken care of by our Paris. Yep. Electric comes out, and then we get Paris in. So I assume it's going to try and Super Fang, Shockwave. Honestly, not what I was expecting, but that's fine. I guess it did see the kill. And now we Spore. Even though we're slower, I think it's good. Alright, 21. How much is this thing doing to Paris now? Its highest damaging moves is Shockwave, which can do 10. So maximum of 15 damage, and it's asleep. Now our maximum damage move is Bug Bite, and we can eat its Citrus Berry like that. Which is super nice. So that's 1 turn of sleep. Does it get the 1 turn wake up? It does. Shoot. It goes for Toxic. That's fine, honestly. Alright. Does 3. Next turn it'll do 6. Let's just assume that it was a rounding down error, and it's going to do 7 Toxic plus its Shockwave or Super Fang. 15, 7. Shockwave. Nope, there's no way that it can kill us, and Bug Bite will always kill. Yep, even Super Fang Toxic isn't going to be enough damage. There we go. And last but not least, the Dustox comes up. It's for sure going to Venoshock, because it sees that we're turbo dead to that. It could also go for Infestation, just because we're going to be at such low health. But I think it could see a kill with Infestation, yeah. So it's either Toxic, Venoshock, or Infestation. We'd prefer, but it doesn't really matter which one it goes for, because Tortuga takes either of them spectacularly. Easy peasy. Infestation, nice. Has been afflicted with an infestation, that's fine. Yep. And now, how are you going to deal with Smackdown? Okay, Toxic Infestation, that's fine. We're taking lots of chip damage, but it's never going to do enough. We've kept the Pecha Berry on just to make sure. I didn't think that we'd be in a bad position at this point, but better safe than sorry. Alright, Black Sludge. That doesn't do enough to get it out of kill range. We hit one of the higher rolls. Toxic again, and that's fine now, because we're not going to be taking any damage this turn from Toxic, because the Dustox will be dead. There we go. Camper Galby's down. That makes for a relatively easy fight. There we go. That's 1 down. How long did it take us? 45 minutes? There we go. Alright. Oh yeah, we should go. Okay, let's go heal, and then we'll get a Pokemon. There we go. Yeah, poison's fading away. Everybody's poisoned. There we go. Okay, so we need something that can take an electric type damage really well out front, which I think just means, Gaia, you stay out front as we go and try and get something in this grass. Actually, I should go buy some more Pokeballs. We wasted a lot of Pokeballs trying to get our Quillfish. Also, I think I might have the... Alright. In bag, we'll just say 10. I think we didn't do as much as we wanted. That's enough to get a Premier Ball. Okay, yeah, can't really afford Great Balls right now, so that's fine. We'll go do the gym. After the gym, I'm sure we'll be rich. Alright, let's turn off the repellent. Is deactivated. Nice. Okay, let's see. What do we get? We get... Ooh! Electrike. Nice. I don't think that's the best thing we can get. Shinx with Intimidate. Having 2 Intimidate users is always nice, just because you can pivot between them. Electric, though, could be good for Manectric, because I know we can get Mega Manectric. I don't think that's really late in the game, but still. Alright. And either way, cute little electric puppy. Alright, how much damage can we do to this thing without killing it? It's level 12, let's assume it's got no IVs and anything useful. Grottle kills it with every move, so we're just gonna try throwing Pokeballs for a minute. Alright, Electrike. Listen to this. I see that you don't want to get in the Pokeball, but it's going to be great, and you're going to get to use electric moves on all types of things. This is my deal to you. Okay, that wasn't a good enough deal. Let's try this again. How about... I'll give you lots of berries. Nope, berries aren't your thing. Alright. We're learning. Oh, come on. Just get in the ball. Then we can move on and start planning for Brawly. Quick Attack. Quick Attack is nice, honestly. I'm trying to figure out what this thing's moves are. Thunder Wave. What does it use so far? Thunder Wave is good. Quick Attack is good. Leer is fine. I'm sure it'll get a good electric type move. Alright, come on. Thunder Wave is already paralyzed, yeah. Just sit here and throw balls at the thing. Do-do-do. There we go. Perfect, now we've got Electric. Alright, now we just have to come up with a name for Electric. Reminder to anybody in chat, I'm going to say this every time. If you want to be named after the Pokemon that we just caught, just shout it out. I'm happy to name Pokemon after viewers. I think it's cool to remember all the people that were at the stream. But if you don't want to be named after this Pokemon, we have to come up with a name for it. So, what do we want that to be? Let's see. Blue and yellow. It's going to be a blue and yellow. Let's see. What is a good name for an Electric? Let's read the Pokedex entry because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Let's see. Electrike is the lightning Pokemon. That feels generic. Alright. What do we got? Electricity stored in its fur. It stores static electricity. We can call something to do with static. Yeah, all of its things have to do with static and using electricity. Static is fine. Do we want to go with, like, statistics? That's not really good. There's not a joke there. Who's a famous statistician? You can just fully see the process of my brain making random connections. Who? Ronald Fisher. Did you suck? Father of modern statistics? That sounds like static. And I think it's funny to, like, fully just misname this thing after the wrong type of science. So, does Ronald Fisher definitely doesn't fit, but Ronald Fish does. And that's even more esoteric, so that when somebody new comes to the stream and they're trying to figure out why on earth is this guy named Ronald Fish, they'll just be, unless I explain the full thought process, there's no way that you could possibly understand. It's just how esoteric can we make the name? This is what we're going with, unless somebody can come up with a better name. But I don't think anybody did, so we're going with Ronald Fish, the Electrike. Perfect, perfect. Alright, we've got that. We can always rename. But it didn't look like anybody was there. Alright, let's go heal up and start preparing for our next fight. Man's best friend, absolutely. See, it's already making me laugh. That's not the sign of a good name, but it is the sign of a name that I would choose. Alright. We can make it out of the beach now and back to the Dewford Gym. Alright. While we're on our way, let's start planning the Brawly fight. Let's see, we just fought Galvi, and our first fight next. Alright. Okay, it's these two are the possible double battle. But before that, we've got a Riolu. Ooh, Ponyta probably doesn't get two-shot, outspeeds, and can one-shot. Alright, good to know. How about Beware? Ooh, no, but Mankey does get outsped and killed by Ponyta. Honestly, this bounce on Ponyta for coverage is going to be very good, isn't it? Alright, it looks like this first fight shouldn't be too difficult. Let's heal up and figure out. So we've got... Ponyta can switch in and always kill the Mankey and will never die. Even to a Stomping Tantrum max crit, which can do 17 damage, plus so it's 13 plus 17, what is that? 40, 51? Okay, that's mighty close, but it's a max roll crit. Will leave us at 1 HP. So Stomping, so we can switch in to any move and then always one kill. Is bounce 100% accurate? I don't think it is. $95. I don't love that. Alright, so we'll think about that. We'll see if we can have a better option. Maybe if we can get it... Okay. How about this Beware, though? The Beware doesn't do much to Quillfish. It's all physical moves. It's got Bulk Up, which is scary. But I think it's going to try and go for that. If we come in with the Quillfish... Alright, well first, let's see. This Riolu is just a pure fighting type. We've got... Let's see. Metatite does outdamage it, but might not win, especially if we ever get crit, so that's not good. How does Hatena do? We might probably just have to level up Hatena early for this. Actually, does Hatena evolve? Did Hatena hit the evolution? Hatena evolves at 22. Ooh, that's mean. Alright. If we really need to, we can evolve Hatena into a Hattrem. Hopefully we don't need to do that, but we could. We're going to have Psybeam at level 20. So we'll just assume that this is a Hatena with Psybeam, which always two shots. Do we outspeed? We definitely don't outspeed. Synchronize, what is that? Oh, Synchronize is where it... Yeah, I remember. Alright. Life Dew? Life Dew doesn't heal very much unless you're... But it heals you and your partner, so if we get into a double battle, Hatena's very good. Okay. What do we need to do here? What else can take out a pure fighting type? Tortuga, you're not doing very well. Quillfish, you are actually doing very well, but you can't two-shot it, which sucks. But you're not taking hardly any damage, so we'll see about that. Honestly, Tortuga, you might be the one to deal with Mankey, because you've got Aqua Jet, so you can get in there, do some damage, and then kill it with Ponyta. But we'll take a bunch of damage from Riolu, and Bounce might miss. So we'd really have prefer something else to deal with the Riolu. Can Groddle? How well does Groddle deal with it? Pretty well. Okay, Groddle can deal with the Riolu, and if we don't need the Groddle for anything else, that's fine. So Groddle kills the Riolu in 1, 2, maybe 3 hits. Alright, the third one can be an Absorb, because that'll always, even if we get Mineral 3 times in a row, that'll still kill. Alright. So we'll have Groddle kill the Riolu, and then neither I guess they both outspeed and they both do damage, so it won't see one better than the other, so next the Stuffle will come out. The Stuffle gets pretty destroyed by Quillfish. Let's see, is there anything that Stuffle does worse against? Because it is normal fighting. So how does Metatype do? Not well. How does Hatena do? Also not well. We're just taking too much damage, so there's no purpose going into that, so the Quillfish is going to be fine. Quillfish comes in, it'll get an attack drop on it. It's got Citrus Berry, so it's going to heal a lot. Poison Fang, Poison Fang, Poison Fang, we just have to fight through the bulk ups. If we ever get... If we ever get a poison, that would be nice. What about Paris? How's... No, Paris isn't doing anything here. Tortuga isn't really doing any damage, unfortunately. How about Spheal? No, because it's Ice type, it's weak. Horsey isn't really doing much damage. Horsey's kind of outlived its usefulness at this point. Body Slam does too much to Skrelp. I think we just... Honestly, Stuffle coming out next. If we kill it in 2 Razor Leaves, do we just have Groddle Oranberry to kill the first 2 and then the Mankey is dealt with by Quillfish Haru? Yeah. I think that's the plan, and we'll have Tortuga, Aqua Jet to deal any final damage we need. I like that. Alright, that way we shouldn't have to rely on Haru Bounce. Even though it's just 90% accurate, I'd just rather not deal with that. Switch the 2 items? Yes. We're gonna take the Pecha Berry. There we go. Now I've just got an Oranberry on our main Pokemon. Let's save let's heal everybody up. I meant to save though. And then let's get our team together. So who do we want on this team? Metatite and Hatena were not very useful on this specific fight. So we've got Haru, Mary, Scorsese, basically these 5. And then Amon is fine. I don't think there's any downside to bringing Amon, and I don't think there's any upside to bringing anybody else. So I think this is actually the same team once again. So we'll save. and we'll just go straight into it, because this fight, of all the fights, is an introduction to the fighting type gym. It in and of itself is not that difficult. We've got citrus berries, lumberry. Okay, yeah, lumberry on the Mankey, so that's fine. Citrus berry on the Stuffle, that's fine. We'll have brine on the Quillfish. Is that true? No, who do we have brine? Did you get brine? Yeah, you got brine, wasn't it? Yeah. If we ever need to do more than 50%? Okay. This should be easy. Who can use flash? Oh, we can't use... I don't like this. Different gym leader commands fighting type, going against. It's asking for trouble. Gym is as dark as the ocean floor, but it will get brighter after defeating the trainers in your way. This is your first time, so I'm responsible for informing you of the rules. Oh, I forgot about this. It's too dark in here. Force is set. Consumable held items will not come back after battles. You cannot thief items from trainers or wild Pokemon. There's a soft level cap. Yeah. Cap is with rare candies, but they are rare and limited in this region. You are automatically healed to full. Takes place inside of a Pokemon gym. If you ever want me to reiterate the rules, tough luck, they don't pay me enough. Oof. Oh, I don't wanna move in here. Alright, 1 second. What does the do for gym layout? They could have changed it, though. Alright, 1 second. I just don't want to accidentally run into the wrong trainer. Alright, if I remember that it wasn't a problem and that the layout was pretty nice except for the double battle. But just in case, let's say that we accidentally run into the wrong fight. How do we deal with the Heracross? The Heracross is dead to Haru, Bounce, and the Farfetch'd gets dealt with pretty well by Quillfish, especially after... Let's see, it'll be dual Wing Beats into the Grottle. We can go to Tortuga to take the dual Wing Beats, and then it's going to go for Rock Smash, in which case we go to Quillfish. And then we've got that, and then we can kill it with Haru. And we can actually outspeed with Haru and kill with Flame Wheel after 2 Poison Fangs, it looks like. Can we take... Okay. So even if we're in a bad... Like, we get the wrong Pokemon, we fight the wrong trainer first, we're still fine. Turns out the next fight is also going to be easy. Oh, I don't like walking around in here at all. Okay, who are you? Please just be Battle Girl Laura. Oh, I'm terrified. This is terrifying. Laura, please just see Laura. Okay, we're fine. Riolu, you're coming out. That's fine. Huh. Mildly terrified, but it all works out. Body slam, yep, just don't get paralyzed. Why do I even say things out loud? Awesome. Awesome. It's fine. Force Palm isn't going to do double full para. We still have plenty of health to, like, play around with, but now we're going to have our backup plans for Stuffle. Maybe, here, will you give me at least a crit with the Razor Leaf? No? Cool. At least we got a high roll. Alright. Well, we know it's going for Force Palm, which is doing 16 damage, so I guess we might as well kill the Riolu, because there's no chance of dying there. That's 3 full paras. Okay. That seems excessive, game. Alright. Calculator time. Alright, so we come out into this Riolu and use whatever. Let's assume that we're going to bring Tortuga out. If we bring Tortuga out, it'll still be Stuffle out next, and we can still deal some damage to it before having to switch out. And we can Quillfish. Alright. So it's still fine. You switch out. Is there any reason to switch out to anybody else? Who takes a Force Palm the best? Quillfish takes a Force Palm very well. And then can outspeed and kill. And then who comes out into Quillfish? Not Mankey. Either way, we're fine. We don't get the attack drop, though, from the Quillfish. But then it'll be easier to switch into Tortuga at any point. So I think we just go to Quillfish right now. Take the Force Palm. And then we outspeed and kill it. Inner Focus, so that's fine. Body Slam, of course it goes for the other one, because it's a roll. If it paralyzes, okay. I was gonna say, if it paralyzed, I was gonna be mad. That's some levels of nonsense that I wasn't ready to deal with at the moment. Alright. Stuffle comes out. How are we gonna deal with the Stuffle? We've got Quillfish out right now. I think Poison Fang isn't doing much, but it could poison. But that's not really... Bubble Beam is doing the most. Bubble Beam is doing as much as Venoshock, but Bubble Beam has a chance to have added effects. So it's going to go for Workup here, because it shouldn't see a kill. Body Slam. Honestly, that's better. How much is it doing with Body Slam? 30%? So 19, 20... It max roll crit leaves us at 1 HP. Which means we Bubble Beam again. Eats the Citrus Berry. Body Slam. Alright. And paralyzed. Now it's going to see... At least, honestly, this is fine. It never went for Bulk Up. So this is honestly fine, and it's going to see a kill with either... I think actually just... Yeah, it doesn't see the kill with Force Palm here. So it's going to go for Body Slam, because it always sees a kill with Body Slam, so this is an easy switch into Tortuga. Okay, and then we don't outspeed, but does Aqua Jet do enough to kill it? Probably not. Yeah, not where it's at, so we have to use Brine. Alright, I think we're done with the calculator for now. So we're going to take a Force... Honestly, Force Palm is way better to take. Because there was no chance of us dying there, and... There we go. Brian, because it was lower than 50%, does tons of damage. Now the Mankey comes out. The Mankey's going to use Stomping Tantrum, probably, because that deals the most damage. It could use, like, Thrash or Outrage, but it shouldn't do that. Stomping Tantrum, max roll crit, could kill Tortuga, so we're not going to keep Tortuga out. Who do we go into Stomping Tantrum? Paris is funny, but I don't think that's very good. Quillfish is too low, even though Quillfish would have been great into Mankey. Yeah. Honestly, how does Mary do? No, Mary's taking a bunch of damage from Stomping Tantrum. Honestly, we kind of took a lot of damage over all of our Pokemon. We got a lot of max rolls and a lot of unfortunate paralyses. Honestly, mostly Gaia taking like 3 full paras has kind of screwed us. What's our best out? So we always have the option of going into Ponyta and using Bounce, which is 95% accurate. But we do die to bad rolls. We'd love if it's... How do we get it to use Smelling Salts? Will it want to use Smelling Salts on Outrage? No. Alright, so Paris comes out, takes a Stomping Tantrum. What does Stomping Tantrum do? I'm pretty sure Stomping Tantrum, like, reduces speed, right? Driven by the user attacks the target. If the user's previous move has failed, this move's power of this move is doubled. Oh, well, that's not happening. So, Stomping Tantrum into Paris would be great. And it's going to use Stomping Tantrum because that does the most damage. Right? Yeah. So it goes for Stomping Tantrum here, and then we go to Paris. And then I think we just start Mega Draining for a minute, and that does enough damage that will always kill with Flame Wheel from the Ponyta, which is a much better situation. So yeah. We switch into Paris here. We take a Stomping Tantrum, which is going to do like 3 damage to us. 4, that's fine. And, okay, you know what? Awesome. We deserve a paralysis. Oh, but it's got Lumberry. Honestly, though, Lumberry's gone now. That's fine. Alright, it's going to do a bunch of damage to us now. Do we want to go for Spore? To have a guaranteed free switch into Ponyta? Is that better here, or is the Mega Drain better? I think Mega Drain is better because that guarantees that we can kill Thrash. Alright, does a bunch of damage. Alright, how does Thrash work? Does it have to keep using that now? Yeah. And then it becomes confused. So it's going to use Thrash again, and then... Alright. Thrash can do 25 damage, plus 50%, so it could kill us here. Okay, so we switch to Ponyta, and we won't die, and then we always kill with Flame Wheel, and does Thrash do more damage? If the move misses, the user cannot, then it will stop. 1 to 4 turns. Alright. Perfect. So we switch out here to Ponyta. Ponyta never dies to Thrash, even on max roll crit, and Ponyta always outspeeds kills with Flame Wheel. Alright. Flame Body, even better. That's going to have its attack damage, and it's confused now. There we go. This Mankey was not ready. Perfect, perfect. There we go. Perfect. First. Alright, that... Oh my gosh, okay, save right now because the game just glitched out a little bit and I don't want crash to happen, right? Or at least if a crash happens, then it happens after that last fight. Alright. Terrifying. I think it was just a stutter, but still. There we go. Alright. Now we can start doing the next fight. This fight, I think, is a lot easier because Haru is pretty much the same. We just have to find a way to kill this Heracross, or at least do damage to the Heracross, and then kill it with Flame Wheel. Or use Bounce in a worst comes to worst situation. But we outspeed and kill. And this Farfetch'd doesn't do well against our Quillfish. Yeah, Poison Fang always does a bunch of damage. Yeah. This Galarian Farfetch'd does not do well into Quillfish. So we can come in. It's got Inner Focus, so we can't rely on that, but we've got Dual Wing Bait. But we're always doing like 48%. Yeah, everything's doing the same amount. So it's 1, 2, 3, and if we ever get a poison, it's 1, 2. And we're outspeeding. Yeah, so we come in with Quillfish. Kill it. And then honestly, we just do a little bit of damage if the Quillfish, or we can bring in Tortuga. No, probably not Tortuga. Can Skrelp do decent? No, Skrelp's taking too much damage. Yeah, it turns out Pin Missile, though, on this thing is kind of a bother. Paris? No. Yeah. Herm. Alright, I think we just use Haru to come in and take it. And then let's just assume we're getting hit 5 times by Pin Missile. Do we just go for Bounce twice? Or Flame Wheel, Flame Wheel? Because Bounce might one-shot. But Flame Wheel is guaranteed. Bounce being like 95% accurate sucks. Okay. Flame Wheel, and we have to get... I think it's probably going to go for Rock. There's a chance that it goes for Rock Smash. Which would be way better, in which case Flame Wheel always goes. What do we... But we have to go in and then deal damage. Alright. Can we kill the Galarian with something else? Not really. It's just a fighting type. No, it's got knockoff. We do a lot with confusion on our meta type, but it has dual wing beats, so that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, weird. Okay, so yeah, Quillfish, and then we just have to rely on the bounce from the Ponyta. I don't like it, but there isn't really a better option here. And then we bring Tortuga and Skrelp to help deal with it. Otherwise, how about Spheosaur? Are you helpful? Not really. Nothing can take this Pin Missile. Yeah, turns out my whole team is weak to this pin missile. Alright. Yeah, so we lead Quillfish into... Well, we could try and... Yeah. Lead Quillfish, 3-shot this, assuming we're going to take 20, 40, 60... Or 24, assuming we're taking 40 damage, we'll be at 22. How much does Pin Missile do to us? We could probably stay in with the Quillfish, just we're risking a crit, or even a high roll on the Pin Missile. And does that give, and that even staying in, that doesn't give us a good chance of dealing with it. And it's bad. Ugh. Alright. If we go Pin Missile into Tortuga, nothing takes this Pin Missile. Alright, I'm just going to have to deal with that fact. We're going to give Quillfish an Oran Berry. Scorsese, you get an Oran Berry. Go, go fight. All right. Let's do this for a second. I'm going to take 1 second real quick. All right. I'm gonna take a second and see if I can find an outline of how this gym is laid out, because there just isn't a good way otherwise. Sorry, I didn't realize that was on the main stream. Let's see. If I can find a full layout, because I want to know where the gym trainers are. Because I know we've already been through this once, so I don't feel bad about doing that. Oh, come on. One second. I think I've got somebody with a layout. Okay. Okay. So I think I've got it now. Because... Alright. Okay. So we've got... The next fight... Black Belt... Battle Girl Lilith... Black Belt Tekao. Okay. Battle Girl Jocelyn. We've got Battle Girl Lilith and Heracross. Okay, so we just have to be careful. Okay. Down is our next fight, and then next we've got the girl, which is up 1, which could be a double battle if we go up 1 and then right 1. Alright, that's how it's laid out. Other than that, we should be fine. Got our Pokemon in the correct order. And even though we're massively missing Staravia right now, we've still got this. Alright. Sailor Brendan, perfect. Intimidate, but it's got inner focus, so that doesn't matter. That's fine, we knew that. We're just doing Poison Fang. Poison Fang, please just work. If it poisons, we win, easily. If it doesn't, it goes for knockoff. Okay. Oh, we had the Oran Berry on. That was stupid. Oh, and it poisons. Okay. But it's got the Lumbear... Citrus Berry? Alright. Well, we definitely kill now. Dual Wing Beat. 1, 2. Alright. It's at 26. Hurt by poison, and now we Venoshock, and it's super dead. Quick attack. Yep, not going to do much, though. Perfect. We knew that even a crit there wouldn't have killed. Next up comes Heracross. One nice thing about the Heracross is even though it's terrifying, it doesn't have... It can't really do much to us. And what I mean by that is... It can't, like, set up. It has no setup ability. So now we've got a full team to deal with this Heracross. Now, although I say full team to deal with it, nothing can deal with it well. We can come in, deal a little bit of damage with Skrelp. I think we're going to hold off on that for now. We can come in and do a little bit of damage with Tortuga. But I think once again I'm going to hold off on that. How much together will they do? Water Pulse does 12. Tortuga Smackdown? No. Water Pulse does 12. Tortuga Smackdown does... Here, I'll bring up the calculator. Alright, Tortuga Smackdown does 13, so 12 and 13 is 25. So you'll be down to 40. And how much does Flame Wheel do minimum? 42. Alright, so I think we actually go into Skrelp, take a Pin Missile, into Tortuga, take a Pin Missile, and we'll just do a little bit of damage each time. And I think that ends up better, because then we can use Haru to... There we go. Used pin missile, maybe, and if it ever hits like just twice, we're great. Just hit twice. 3 times is fine. Don't hit 4. It's not very effective? Okay. So obviously, it's not great taking this much damage, but it's still fine. And now we can do Water Pulse. And it's going to use Pin Missile, so we just need to not get crit. And high rolled. 2. There we go, lucky. Alright, so that's helpful. Now we Water Pulse, and that does a little bit of damage. And then Pin Missile is probably 3 Pin Missiles, max roll is going to do 21 damage to Mary. If we get 4, or if we get 5, or if we get crit in any of them, we're dead. So instead we're going to go to I'm Old and take 30 damage and then do Aqua Jet. Is that better? We're going to switch to I'm Old, and if we take just a little bit of damage, we're going to stay in. Like, we're going to see how many times Pin Missile hits here. If it hits a whole bunch, or if it ever crits, we're just going to switch out to Haru, and we're going to have to go, ooh, okay, so we got lucky here. So at 39, which is one of the rolls where, like, we'll survive 4 Pin Missiles. So I think we stay in here to do Aqua Jet, and that, because I think... Is that better, though? Going into Hera... What's the chance that it will hit that many times in a row? Honestly, I think that 4 hits or any crit is less likely than the 5% chance missing. So even though I don't really love it, I think we just switch to Haru here and go for Bounce, because I think that that 5% chance is still a better chance to bet on than going for risking high rolls or crits. And hey, maybe it goes for 2. Okay, crit, see? We would have died. 2, 3. We took, yeah. There's a decent chance that we would have died. Okay, Bounce has to go. Spraying up. We avoid whatever attack. There we go. Alright. Not riskless, but still good. I'm definitely not going to be satisfied with that fight, but can't be too mad about it. Alright. Now we leave, heal up, and get ready for Battle Girl Laura. Is that? Lilith. Ooh, that's a lispy name. Alright. Makuhita comes out first. Fake out Rock Throw, terrifying. Alright, lots of variants in these. Alright. So Makuhita comes out, what has it got? It's got Guts Flame Orb. We can come out though and Quillfish, and even after Guts, yeah, it's not going to do much. We Quillfish, it Fake Outs, and then we just Poison Fang. No, we just Venoshock, or Bubble Beam, even better. Next up, this Ledian. Ledian dies to Tortuga. I hope I should be this calculator on stream. This Ledian can be switched into and dies to Tortuga, and this Mankey is probably dead. Is dead to Grottle. What is Power Up Punch? We'll check that in a second. Otherwise, Bounce or Flame Wheel is likely to kill. Power Up Punch. What does that do? Power Up Punch, and raises the user's attack by 1 stage. Alright, so it's just going to keep getting attack raises, but it's not going to be around for long enough for that to matter. We could also go for absorbs if it's going to try and go for reversal. No, reversal is just if it's low HP. So we're slower. Okay, so we probably want something that's faster to kill this. I think we come in with Ponyta, and then we just Flame Wheel. Because even after 2 power-up punches, and one of them... Yeah. Oh, it's got a Focus Sash anyway, so it doesn't matter. We always Flame Wheel, Ponyta kill it, and then Ladian... Okay, yeah, this fight is easy. We just need to lead Quillfish. Yeah, because Ponyta might not kill. Perfect. I'm going to save here. Perfect, perfect. Alright, we've got everything ready. Alright, there we go. Now we fight the Battle Girl. There we go. Quillfish, Intimidate, Attack Drop, and now we just deal with it. Bubble Beam does the most damage, Venoshock right behind it. I think Bubble Beam is a little better. Fake Out, that's fine, that's what we expected. Flinched, yep, burned, Guts activates. Perfect. Even with the Guts boost, Makuhita isn't doing enough damage to us to be a problem. Yeah. Easy peasy. It's hurt by its burn. Yep. Bubble Beam. Bullet Punch, sure. Crit. Still not doing damage, although it's definitely as much damage as we could have reasonably taken. No, that's not true. Arm Thrust could have hit more times. Alright, there we go. Next. I think it should be the Ledian? Yeah. Alright. Because the Ledian sees it can do a ton of damage with Thunder Punch. But a Thunder Punch crit is still not going to do much to I'm Old. The legendary Pokemon. There we go, super effective. And now even a second Thunder Punch, max roll crit, will only do 30 damage. So we smack down and it turbo kills this Lendian. There we go. Perfect. Now Mankey's going to see a kill with power-up punch. Probably. So we're going to go... Let's see. Reversal can do a lot of damage if it gets to like 1. Goes down to Focus Sash. Do we want to try and do just a little bit? We've got a lot of Pokemon left. I think we probably want to just like deal 5% damage to it, like hit it with something nonsense. So that way it isn't doesn't get the reversal online, because we can deal with its like slowly increasing whatever. Actually, Scorsese, how well does Scorsese? Yeah, we bring in Scorsese to deal just a little bit of damage to it, because oh wait, it's got Defiant. I shouldn't have done this. I should have been paying attention. That sucks. So it's at +2? Alright, well that was stupid. I've made this fight losable. And although I say that, actually, Quillfish still does just fine here. Power up punch, so it's +3 now. Reversal can deal 27 damage and we're speed tying. Alright, so yeah, I just made this fight losable for no reason. I should have been more careful, but whoops. How much is reversal doing to... Nope, too much. Alright, yeah, so this thing is definitely killing anything. In fairness, though, reversal does have a chance not to... No, reversal always kills. So it's... We guarantee a move that it's going to use, except that move at +3 is always going to do way too much damage. Oh, I'm so mad that I didn't notice Defiant. Can anything survive 2 hits from reversal? No. Alright, we might have to sacrifice something. Yep, I didn't notice that this thing had Defiant. I decided to use Intimidate against it, and it is now +3 and will kill anything on my team. This was fully a not losable fight that I decided to just, rather than risk the 5% bounce chance, I decided, hey, we'll just Intimidate it and do some damage with Scorsese here, and everything will be great. And I wasn't... Alright, so here's the worst part is, Scorsese is speed tying. So there's a 50% chance right now. Does Power Up Punch ever kill Scorsese? Power Up Punch never kills Scorsese. And Reversal always does. So here's the thing, we're speed tying. And we're guaranteed to lose a Pokemon if we switch. But like this, and honestly, Quillfish, I love you very much, but we need to not take any things, so just go fast. Yes! Okay, 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 okay. I have to be more careful. I have to be more careful. I have to be more careful. Oh. I never doubted. I did. I'm glad that all of the doubt went to me and you managed to have none of it. Oh, my heart. I need... Get me out of here. Hey, that's gonna be a clip. Let me out, please. Okay, let me just take a second. I'm just gonna put the next battle on screen, and I'm gonna figure out what my plan is. Alright. Whew. Okay. Let me... Okay, let me check something real quick, and then we're going to start planning the next couple of fights. It's getting late already, so we might not end up getting to Brawly tonight, but I'm still hopeful. I just want to make sure that we don't get into a double battle and lose Pokemon again. Alright, one sec. Okay, I'm watching somebody go through... Alright, sorry that this is just taking a break, basically, but I'm having to see where all of the enemy trainers are. Alright. I don't know which one's first, is the only problem. So if we go into this gym... Okay, well actually, let's take a second and get our calculator on stream. It looks like Quillfish out front should two-shot... Let's see, fake out. So it'll be fake out and then we... whatever. Okay, it's got pure power this time and not anything else. What was it? What else do we have? Guts. Okay, so we do not want to give a status condition to the Machoke or Girder. Meditite is dealt with by Quillfish. Machoke. Yeah. Don't let this thing do anything scary. Bounce isn't doing as much as I'd like. Sleep? It'll always go away as soon as it... Okay, but that's still not helpful. Tortuga, Vital Throw. Meditite. How does Meditite do? Decent. What about Hatena? That with Psybeam? Psybeam can two-shot either Machoke. Are we faster than either of them? No. Alright, Hatena can two-shot Girder and can't get two-shot in response. But is that also true of Meditite? Not as well. Okay. So we might bring Hatena to deal with the Girder. Machoke, how are we dealing with you? I think... Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf. That's 3. We're speed tying. We can never be crit. So we're going to be taking 22, 44, 66 max roll. Yeah. And that's not like... we don't even need max. Although if we take a... Alright. Grottle can deal with Machoke if we've got a berry. Do we Sand Tomb? Because we're kill too slow? I think we Sand Tomb's damage isn't going to come out to more than Razor Leaf. More than likely. Alright. We could also Quillfish. We could Quillfish to kill the Metatite, and then we switch Quillfish out after two-shotting it. And then we take Groddle to deal with the Machoke. And then, after Groddle deals with the Machoke, what do we do? So the Groddle deals with the Machoke. And then the Girder gets dealt with by... Hatena? Especially if we're taking, like, low sweep. How does Synchronize work? Is that just... Status condition 2? Okay, so be very careful with our Synchronized Pokemon against Guts Pokemon. That's something I don't want to deal... I don't want to make it suddenly stronger. So maybe be very careful about that. Ponyta can do some damage, but not too much. Paris isn't doing... No, Girder's got Rock Throw. And Bulldoze. And Low Sweep. Honestly, Quillfish is really making or breaking. You know what? We've also got our Electric. Let's put that in the calculator. Assuming you're level 21, and what abilities do you get? Or what moves? What moves does this Electric get? Our Electrike gets Thunderfang, Bite, Shockwave. We're a physical attacker, aren't we? No, special attack. No, wait, not Shockwave. What is... Yeah, Shockwave. But it doesn't look like Electrike is doing anything here, and Thunderwave just has a chance to screw us over. So no, Electrike, you're not going to be useful here. Again, the Girder can be taken out. What did I say that the Girder could be taken out by? Not you. Groddle can take out the Machoke, and then Girder can die to... Not Tortuga. Not really Ponyta. I guess Hatena. But we need, like, a easy switch. Honestly, do we just go to Quillfish, like, several times? Avoiding Bulldoze? So we go to Quillfish on anything that isn't Bulldoze. Get it, and we just start Intimidate dropping it. And then, when it goes for Bulldoze, we go to Paris, and then we'll always go for Rock Throw, so we go to Quillfish, and then we just cycle between them. And then that gets Intimidate drops off, so that we can kill the Girder with, what? Ponyta? At, like, minus, what, 2? Minus 2 is probably -2, we can actually almost out-heal with Groddle. I don't love that. What about Hatena? I guess we go to Hatena then at -2. Because then it really can't deal damage to us. Alright, that's our plan. Let's go grab Hatena. Who are we dropping off? We need Groddles. I'm old is really bad here. Honestly, Ponyta can outspeed, so we were gonna have you in case something's taken like 50% damage and we need you to outspeed. Skrelp, we need to switch to bring to. I don't know, Skrelp, are you helpful at all in this fight? Not really. Yeah, no, Skrelp isn't helpful. Alright. So then you're on the team. And Anya's on the team. Alright, we give everybody level up time. It's your lucky day, Anya. Wants to learn Force Palm, sure. Bide is just not very good. Although is Rock Smash just worse? Lowers defense, may paralyze. I think that Rock Smash just isn't doing enough damage to be worth the defense drop. And Bide can be reuseful. Alright. There we go. Now Galadriel. Galadriel gets all the way leveled up. It's going to learn a bunch of moves. This will be great. Actually, yeah. And then we'll save here, and then we'll double check our plan. Aromatherapy. Yes, what does that do? Heals all status problems in the... This happens in the whole party. Lowering its attack without fail. I think Play Nice just lowering its attack just a little bit isn't worth all of the other things that we can do. There we go. Aromatherapy is just surprisingly good because it heals your whole team of poison or paralysis or whatever's wrong with them. I can't think of the number of times that that could have come in handy. Now we get Psybeam. And Psybeam, yep, is just better than Confusion. And ta-da, learn Psybeam. Alright, and now we save. Perfect, perfect. And now what are we gonna do? Who's out first? Scorsese, that's correct. Now let's put an Oranberry on you. Honestly, Oranberries to Gaia and Scorsese. We could use them here. Honestly, Oranberries to everybody. There isn't any reason not to have an Oranberry here. I'd rather it just happen. And give myself some wiggle room for when something goes wrong. Alright, I don't expect to need all of these, but I don't think it's hurting. I'm definitely using a lot of Oranberries, but Oranberries drop off in usefulness the higher we go. Like, eventually an Oran Berry is going to be useful, like, once every 30 or, like, 40 battles or something like that. So I don't think it makes any sense to save them. There we go. We'll save one last time. There we go. There we go. Fix all of the damage calcs. And let's go. Alright. There is the thing. I don't know which of them is Black Belt Chris and which of them is Black Belt Takao. Alright. I think I figured it out. Because Christian should be first, and the first one that you can get to early enough. Okay, yeah. There's a person who I am suddenly going to subscribe to, who apparently has all of the various trainers in Pokemon Run and Bun. And where they are situated. So now we know that Christian is the first one. So I'm going to subscribe to them. Just shout out, what's their name? Shout out to Jabari Mongoose for being a great resource for apparently just having documented every trainer. Or at least that's what they said. Yeah, so this one is Christian according to the documentation provided. So that's actually a huge benefit. And I thank you for your service. Let's go. There we go. Now we're not in a surprise double battle. Perfect. This is Christian. Intimidate drop. Perfect. Alright, we're definitely going to take a fake out here. There's no problem with that. There's no reason not to go for Venom Fang here. Actually, Bubble Beam is slightly better. Scorsese flinched. Perfect. Bubble Beam has a chance to cause confusion, which is mildly better as far as I'm aware. Brick Break. Shouldn't do too much. Yep. Bubble Beam. Oh, isn't two-shot. Alright. Well, unfortunate, we took more damage than we could have. Detect. That's not helping you, but sure. It's trying to pee-pee stall us. It's working. There we go. Alright. Next up should come out Machoke. There we go. Machoke always wants to use either Bulk Up or Facade. And then Razor Leaf is just better here. And is going to outpace the damage we can do with Scorsese pretty significantly. Nice, it goes for attacking moves. That's what we want to see, and now we just Razor Leaf. Hopefully it starts using Bulk Ups. Perfect. Attack and defense, that's fine. Crit. Nice. That crit is huge. At +1 defense, how much are we doing? Still more with Razor Leaf. So we still do Razor Leaf, especially because it's a chance to crit, and it goes for another Bulk Up. Greedy. That's greedy, Machoke. I think that crit matters a significant amount. Okay. At +2 defense, I think we start going for Absorb. No, we go for Razor Leaf here, because Razor Leaf might kill if it doesn't go. Oh, it's going for Protect Leftovers, yeah. So we definitely go for Razor Leaf. AI is playing well. That's fine. Oh, it's trying to Protect Stall. Yeah, that's bad. I'm surprised it goes for Protect twice in a row. That feels like an oversight. This isn't... Machoke, you're net losing health. You need a couple more bulk ups for this plan to work. There we go, and we finally go faster. Ooh. I know that wasn't going to kill us, but dang, does that do a lot. Alright. Well, we're speed tying now, and it sees a kill, so it's going to go for Vital Throw. Or Facade. I think we go... Who can take an outspeed? Nobody can take and outspeed besides Quillfish, so we're going to have to kind of replan on the fly. Scorsese, you come out, you're going to get the attack drop, which is kind of necessary. I assumed it was going to go for Protect. No, okay, no, I didn't assume that. I knew that it was going to go for Facade because it saw that it was a kill. There we go. And now we go for Bubble Beam, because Bubble Beam's special, so it'll go through the defense boosts. Alright. So that's nice. Now we've got the Girder. We've got 26. It sees that it can kill with... and it always does more with Bulldoze here. So it's going to go for Bulldoze, at which point we go to Paris. Right, and then when we go to Paris, it'll always go for Rock Throw, and then we go to Quillfish, yeah, and we do that a few times. To get some attack drops on it, we take a Bulldoze just fine. Yep. And now its speed is lower. And then we go to Quillfish because it's going to go for Rock Throw. -1. Six, 7, 8, okay. And now it goes for Bulldoze again. When we go to Paris, it always goes for Bulldoze because it saw the kill. And now it always goes for Rock Throw because that's the only one that can do damage. And then we go to Scorsese because it'll always go for Rock Throw, and even a crit shouldn't kill. That's a second attack drop. There we go. I knew that the crit didn't kill, but that was max roll crit right there. Oh. Okay. My heart. Alright. This gym is... Imagine how easy this gym would be right now if we had a Staravia with Intimidate. Okay, let's just carefully click. It's gonna go for Mach Punch here, because it sees a fast kill. And Mach Punch, honestly, does really well against Hatena, or does really good for us against Galadriel here, so we switch. Oh, terrifying, terrifying, but we win no matter what. Yep, Mach Punch, because it saw a fast kill. It's going to do, yeah, 5 damage, perfect. And now we Psybeam, Psybeam. And win. And Bulldoze, even high rolling and crit. Isn't going to kill. And we... Oh, that did way too much damage. Did we crit there? I think we... I wasn't looking. I was looking at the calculator. I think we crit, because that's way more damage than we should have done. There we go. Bulldoze, even max roll crit, not counting the attack drops. Going through attack, we wouldn't have died there, and Psybeam kills. Oh, okay. It did crit. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I looked up and I'm like, it should have done like 68% max. Did like 90. So that was probably a low roll crit then. Because high roll crit definitely kills. Alright. Now we move right along to our next fight. I think this fight's going to be significantly easier. I say that, but still. Because we've got... Right away, we've got Breloom, which is turbo dead to Ponyta. Or Quillfish. I think Quillfish is way better. Because we outspeed... No, we speed tie. And Venoshock. It could Spore us. Or Bullet Seed. But no, Venoshock, that's just such a good thing. Because we get -1 attack. Yeah. And then... Mienfoo... Can't really do much. And then Baniri has Fake Out, Jump Kick, and all of that. But our Force Palm might kill. But Triple Axle does a lot of damage there. How about Hatena? What do you do? Okay, this thing's a normal type. So just regular damaging moves are the best thing we can do. And it's going to Fake Out turn 1, so we can try and switch Quillfish in to the Fake Out. So turn 1, we've got Quillfish out, Venoshock, and then we switch, and then Mienfoo comes out probably. Mienfoo, I think that actually the Baniri comes out if we've got Quillfish out. So I think we have... No, I think we have Ponyta out against the Breloom, because we can bounce, kill that, and then the Baniri will come out, and then we go to Quillfish, and then we kill the Baniri with the Quillfish, and then we go to... And then when the Mienfoo comes out, we go back to Ponyta, or really at that point, anything will kill the Mienfoo. Right, just something that can deal with a Drain Punch well. Honestly, it looks like Hatena deals with the Mienfoo really well. Yeah. Alright. So out front, switch you around like that. And just for, again, sake of being extra careful in the early game, everybody gets an Oran Berry. Alright, and I think we go straight into this battle because it's not actually that difficult. We've got a... I think we do have a really good set of Pokemon. Rapidash is really helping in a lot of fights, just being so fast and such high damage potential. Alright, we've got our correct Pokemon out front. Haru's out front. Alright. Let's do this. Do we have any Pokemon that we want to switch? No, we've got Anya, Galadriel, Amon, Gaia, Scorsese. This is all correct. Might is right. Not really, dude, but sure. Alrighty then. What do we have here? We've got Breloom out front. We've got Bounce right away. It goes for Mach Punch. That sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, just barely doesn't do 50% damage. Oh, and we got Poison. Oh, because it's got Poison Heal. It's got Toxic Orb Poison Heal, yeah. Baniri comes out, yep. And it's definitely going to go for Fake Out because it doesn't see a kill. So we go to Scorsese here. There we go. Yep, Fake Out, that's fine. And now what's doing the most? Poison Fang should. And we have a chance to poison. Triple Axle, that's 1, 2. Oh my gosh, it's not doing any damage now. Oh, Cute Charm, that's fine. We've just got to fight through it, and we've got plenty of health to fight through it with. Yeah, because this Baniri can't do anything to us right now. Is in love with faux Baniri, just don't be immobilized. Perfect, Poison Fang. Alright, now we just need one more. We've got plenty of health, so we're fine. There we go. Triple Axle goes, and then we... Are we immobilized, or do we just do it this turn? Mobilized. Dang. Alright, try again. Alright, this part of the battle is easy. I'm just gonna get rid of the calculator. We've got Mienfu coming up next. There we go. Our berry goes off. That should bring us to 41. Perfect. Mobilized by love a second time in a row. Come on. Oh, and it missed. That's really unlikely with the wide lens that it's got. Immobilized by love for a third time in the row. Come on. Scorsese. Get your act together. Nope. Oh my gosh, that's 5 times in a row. Six times in a row. Scorsese, this should be an easy fight. 7? What? That is 7 times in a row. I'm gonna have to switch you out. Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, it's gonna go for high jump kick. Or triple axle. I think no matter what, we go to Ponyta just because Ponyta can survive any hit. And also outspeeds. But hot dang. Okay, now. There we go. Alright, 26. How much is jump kick doing? 23. Well, we outspin Flame Wheel. There we go. And now Mienfu's gonna come out. And I don't actually know what it'll do. Because I think it should see kill, but it sees a slow kill, so it might try and fake out. I'm not sure if it fake outs or rock slides or drain punches here. I think it has a chance to do all three. And our plan was kind of to use Scorsese here, because Scorsese was supposed to do damage already at this point. But not knowing what it's going to do, we can bring Groddle out and do some damage like that. And that at least guarantees that it'll be Drain Punch. So we have an easier switch. So yeah, let's bring out Groddle. Fake out, perfect. That's the best thing that could have happened. Now we Razor Leaf. Yeah, Drain Punch. Does a fair whack of damage. Actually, that's perfect amount of damage, because that means we've got maximum possible health after the Oran Berry. There we go. And now if it goes Drain Punch, recover about 25%. Drain Punch again will do 25 max. And it can't crit. If it does 25 and then 50, no, Absorb isn't going to recover enough to get out of range. There we go. No, I needed that to be a much lower... I needed both of those to be low rolls, and I think then Razor Leaf... Never mind, Razor Leaf crits. I was going to say, I don't think that kills, and I think we're going to have problems all of a sudden. But nope, Gaia pulled through. Alright, now we've got only one battle left, I think, in this gym before Brawly. Okay, I think, never mind, we might be doing Brawly once again. Just keeps going back and forth about whether we are or aren't. Alright. I remember this Kecleon was a problem. How do we want to deal with it? Once again, Scorsese's going to be very good. Let's see. Ground Ghost. Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf? Alright, Groddle can deal with the Golett. The Emboar has got Incinerate, so we don't want to... So it'll get rid of any berries, so we just got to be careful about that. But Bubble Beam is going to take down the Pignite. Hakomo... How much is Disarming Voice doing? Not enough. And we're not a fairy type yet, so we don't get all the benefits of that. What is this thing? Dragon Fighting? Oh, I'd love to have a good fairy type move. Disarming Voice just doesn't do a lot of damage. Boo. Alright. How do we want to fight this thing? Psychic damage should do a lot. Psybeam, what about Confusion does some. Bounce does a fair bit. How's it going? Good. We managed to... There's only one trainer left before Brawly. It's looking a little difficult. I'm not sure what the plan here is. The Kecleon should... Okay, Golett gets destroyed by Groddle. Okay, well, we bring it here. We start with Groddle into the Kecleon. Does Groddle kill the Kecleon? Groddle kills the Kecleon in 3 hits and doesn't get killed in 3. And that's always true. 1, 2, yep. And we're outspeeding, so yeah. So Grottle deals with the first one, and then Embor is going to come out and try and use Incinerate, but then we can bring in Quillfish to deal with that really well. Actually, is there better... Can we do more damage elsewhere? Not really. Yeah. So Quillfish deals with the Embor, at which point Hakomo comes out. Probably not Hakomo. Probably Golett? Because Golett... I don't know. Basically everything. Turns out Quillfish just kind of bodies this whole gym. I don't really have a good way to deal with this Hakomo, though, other than Quillfish and Hatena. Because if it's not a Hatchrim yet, it doesn't have the fairy type. Is okay, is Hatchrim a fairy type? Am I making things up? Oh, I should have the... This is the fight. This is the fight that we're doing. Alright. Is Hatchrim a fairy type? No, Hatchrim still isn't a fairy type. It takes all the way till Hatterene for it to be fairy. Because a fairy type would be super useful against this dragon. But alas, that's not how it's going to go, so... We do a lot of damage with Bounce on Ponyta. So we come in, we take one. I'd love to take like a Dragon's Breath. And then we deal damage. If it goes for Iron Defense a couple times, that'd be nice too. Because then we can just switch to something that's doing like special damage. And kill it. Alright. So we go in, it goes you, into you, into you, into you, and then I think Grottle can come back out to deal with the Golett. Just to save Quillfish health against the Hakomo. I like that, and then Scorsese can come back out against the Hakomo. And then Tortuga, how does Tortuga do? Not good. So Tortuga isn't coming. We're definitely having both Metatite and Hatchrim coming. I don't think Paris is useful here. Yeah, I think the damage types just isn't doing anything for us. Yeah, not in any fight. So Paris, we're probably going to leave... Well, there isn't really anything that's doing better. So I think Paris is coming along, but basically just to, like, be bait. Paris is bait and or death fodder, if we need it. Alright. Who needs to be out front? We need you out front. And berries for everybody once again. I don't think it'll be useful. And I think that we're actually... There's a chance that we lose a berry just to incinerate, but... Bait and death fodder. It's fine. It's not going to happen. It's just imagine things go terribly wrong and I have not foreseen something. That's what Paris is here for. It sounds bad, but it's totally it's a noble duty that Paris gets to do. We're gonna say gets to do. That sounds less evil. Alright, here's the lady. We've got our Pokemon out front. Let's go. Alright. Let's do this. Kecleon. Gaia. So Gaia's out against the Kecleon. Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf. If we ever crit, we're in huge benefit. it's probably going to Thunder Wave here. Transform to Fighting type, that's fine. Goes for Drain Punch. There we go. And even after another Razor Leaf and then another one, and then it should be down. Ooh, crit. We needed a crit earlier. Protean to the Electric type. Goes for T-Wave. Now we'll be slower, but that's fine. We just need to do a little bit of damage. Protean again, it goes back to Fighting type. Gosh, Protean is so good if it activates, like, every turn. Didn't they change that? I think that's not a Gen 9 mechanic anymore. Like, Protean only works, like, once per switch in. Oh, we got paralyzed. Full para sucks. Normal? Dizzy Punch, huh? Okay, well, we got through paralysis, and now the Kecleon's down. Alright, that's what we needed there. Next up is... should be the Embor. Or the Pignite, that's what I meant. Alright, Pignite comes out, and we've got Scorsese, which will both drop its attack, take the Incinerate super well. We're going to lose the Berry, but that's fine. Incinerate. Yep, the Oran Berry was burnt up. That's what... Yep. And now, what's doing the most damage again? I believe that it's Bubble Beam, yeah. I didn't think that it wouldn't be, but... better to check. There we go. No crit, that's fine. Let's just say no crit right back. Even if one Flame Charge, it shouldn't be fast enough to outspeed. Actually, I think we're speed tying right now. But Scorsese always wins speed ties. There we go. There we go. Scorsese is the best. Okay, now the Hakomo... okay, so the Hakomo comes out first, actually. So I wasn't expecting this. I guess I wasn't sure what turn order meant, so now we know. If it skips one, it'll go next in turn order, not back to the front. So rather than bring Golett out, it brings Hakomo out. Alright, so now we've got Hakomo out. It can do 19 damage with Dragon's Breath. Otherwise, it could also go for Iron Defense. Let's see. We'll try and Poison Fang here. If we can poison it, that would be awesome. Iron Defense? Nice. So now it's going for... so it's going for defense, and now I think that means that we have an easy time killing it with Venoshock, which is special. Goes for Protect. I don't think it has... yeah, it doesn't have, like, a leftovers or anything, but I guess Protect isn't hurting it, so might as well. That did not do a lot of damage. How does Overcoat work? Immune to residual damage from weather... well, that's not helpful. Why did it barely do... why is Venoshock not doing damage? I guess maybe it just wasn't doing as much as I hoped for. How much can Dragon's Breath do this turn? 19 plus 9. I don't think max roll crit Dragon's Breath can kill us this turn. So we stay in. Yep, take a Dragon's Breath, and now we have to switch out. Because it definitely sees a kill with Dragon's Breath now. But it's also really low. Okay, what takes a Dragon's Breath the best and then can outspeed it? Metatite. Metatite, you outspeed. There we go. This is what you were here for, and you do the most damage with Confusion. Protect, that's fine. That's not going to help you in the long run. There we go, and it's dead. Now we just have to kill the Golett. Alright. Golett sees a kill with Shadow Punch with our against Meta type, so it's gonna go for Shadow Punch. I should have brought a normal type just to have a clean switch. But what else can take Shadow Punch well? And then deal damage back. Kinda nobody. I think we've taken way too much damage between Gaia and Scorsese. They were kind of our outs to Golett, and I kind of expected to go around. I shouldn't have taken that much damage with Scorsese. Now, Shadow Punch definitely comes out. How does Haru take it? Haru takes it fine, but then we don't really do much back. We've got... Grotto will take it really well, but then is gonna be slower because of the paralysis, and, you know, might be paralyzed. No, because at any point it can Shadow Punch. I was gonna say Galadriel could use Aromatherapy, but to help Gaia out, but I don't think that helps. At -1 attack, how much does Shadow Punch do to Scorsese? It always kills Scorsese. Shadow Punch into Paris is almost certain to two-shot, and it outspeeds. What's our out here? Okay, we always have the backup of Amon, of our bait being used as bait. Yeah, Ponyta just really isn't doing much damage. Who do we have on our team, actually? Galadriel, Haru, and Amon. So really, it's just Haru and Amon, because Galadriel gets one-shot by the Shadow Punch. And neither of them take a Shadow Punch very well. So this might be... Paris might be relying on... Okay, here's the thing. There is... No, wait. I'm forgetting about the Oranberry. So Shadow Punch comes in. So how does that change things? It means that we go into Amon, because Amon can always survive too because of the Oranberry. And then can Mega Drain or Spore. And then we rely on Sleep. Alright. Shadow Punch. There we go, and then we get the Oranberry, which gets us out of death range, barely. And then do we Mega Drain or Spore here? Mega Drain will do between 35 and 45% damage. Recover... How much is that? Recover like 10 damage, we'll say. Roughly. Well, Shadow Punch is doing 25 to 30, so it's not gonna... Mega Drain isn't gonna get us out of range. And it's not really gonna change any of the rolls. But it could... It makes Flame Wheel on Ponyta a little better. Because we go in, we take one, and then we take a second one with Ponyta. And then Ponyta's outspeeding. Alright. So we Mega Drain to do a little bit of damage, and then Shadow Punch happens. There we go. Effect Spore is huge. Sleep is huge. We get a guaranteed turn of sleep here. That's all the difference in the world. Amon, you have done it. Oh my gosh, that's so lucky. And now we're back out of death range. Three full turns of sleep. No, that's two. Was never bait. No, Amon was the answer. Or Amon, whatever. It's great. Oh my gosh. This has been the... I think last time we went into this gym, I think we genuinely had, like, statistically insane, terrible luck. We have had perfect luck in this gym. Every time that I have made a mistake, the game has not punished me. Alright, there's Brawly right there. Let's leave. I'm gonna call it here. I don't have the brain power to beat Brawly tonight. So we'll have next stream be beating Brawly and dealing with that. Like, I'm just gonna pull it up real quick. Like, this fight, I don't even know what this will look like. Yeah, I can sucker punch. Ponyta can two-shot. What is Slot Bunny? Yeah. Ooh, I will say this fight it looks pretty bad. I don't think we have good tools into this fight, and I am very nervous about it. Yeah, that's going to require a lot of planning. So we will do that next time. There we go. Thank you very much for hanging out. I always appreciate it. Again, hopefully I'll be able to stream. Probably I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow and Thursday just because of exams and whatnot, but thank you for streaming. Oh, thank you for watching. I always appreciate it. And it's always a pleasure to do. But yeah, I should be able to stream hopefully later this week, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One of those days I'm sure I'll be free, and hopefully more than one, but I'm only going to guarantee one. With that, thank you very much for hanging out. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye! Wait, I forgot to save. Okay, I'm saving on stream to prove it, but bye! Bye for real. There we go.